What's up, guys? I'm going to run you through exactly how I got one of my contractors $338,000 in 3 months, and we only spent around $8,000. This is such good results. He was spending around $2,500 a month on just Facebook ads before, and he actually came to me and thought it wasn't working because he wasn't getting any good results from it. He actually paid a Google Ads agency around $2,500 a month too. So he spent around $5,000 a month on marketing and got literally one job in total out of all of it. Reached out to me. I showed him exactly what was kind of going wrong with all that stuff. We fixed it. Now, 3 months down the line, we generated him $338,000 in added revenue just from the ads. All right, here we go. Here's kind of that 212 leads. So cost per lead was around $30 something. Client story. So before, he was a pool better in the Southeast. He still is, but he was struggling with seasonality. He had $2K a month spent on Angie too. Oh, Angie and HomeAdvisor. So yeah, he was spending a lot of money every single month and was getting nothing out of it. So it's just throwing money into a fire basically, because you have no actually system behind it and strategy behind it. He had referrals drying up. Google Ads agency quit after 60 days because they were new and they got no results, and they promised stuff they couldn't actually deliver. And that's one of the biggest problems with agencies nowadays is they promise stuff and they can't deliver. And so it's just a waste. And they also tried postcards, Yelp ads, and nothing was working for them. He thought it was his area. He's at a competitive area. But in reality, it was just the volume he was doing and the actual strategy behind it. He had leads coming in. He just weren't high quality leads, and that's where we came in and fixed that. The goal we set was a 90-day contract. We had 90 days to book him $250,000 in projects, exclusive leads, of course, not shared. We only do exclusive leads here. And then a cost per lead of under $70. Now, a cost per lead doesn't matter too much. It's really just cost of acquisition. But he was a big thing about cost per lead. I tried to teach him, but he still wanted cost per lead low, so I showed him $70 cost per lead, made a deal. I was kind of going for 50. We always go below 50 for sure. But yeah. And then we had an automated follow-up system, booking system, estimate system that was built in, and then no babysitting agency. That's another thing. He had to text that Google agency daily because they would text him asking about stuff and all that. We had all automated. He didn't have to worry about us. We got all that information off the start, gave him the strategies, told him what we're going to do and exactly how we're going to do it, and then every single week he got updated on actually the results. So he didn't have to worry about reaching out to us. We kind of reached out to him, and we had to make sure he was happy at all times. The result was $338,000 in booked revenue over these 3 months, and then 35% over the goal. So very good results. 212 leads at a cost per lead of $38.52 each. He closed 13 deals, and the average project was $26,000. So the ROAS was about a 41.4x. Now, let's keep moving here. First thing we did was change his offer he was running. He was running a free quote, free estimate, changed that completely. We went free on design, constellation, 3D render of your backyard, no obligation quote within 48 hours, book in 30 seconds. Now, it's pretty much the same exact thing. It's just the fact we made it sound fancy and made it sound very, very big. Made him look professional and actually be able to grow his business that way. This CPL dropped from around $125 to $38. And it was probably just because we added a ton of trust and urgency into the actual offer. The next thing was the funnel rebuild. So before, he was literally just running ads to his website, which his website was completely not updated at all. It was the most organic website of all time. So we gave him a new website with and everything like that. And he was going one website, contact form, email, replying 3 days later. That was another thing. He said he was replying to leads in the first 1 to 3 days. So the leads were not even warm anymore. And that's kind of a big problem he was having. So we kind of helped him out with the automation side of things and just also how he needs to respond as quick as possible. So the funnel we built was ads to a landing page with the special offer we were running and all that. And then to a Zapier that was basically just emailing him that, hey, a lead just entered the pipeline. We're going to have automated text you out. Call as soon as possible. And then go high level, handle all the automation, email, and SMS campaign of going out to him to date a lead saying, thank you for blah, 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 being interested. And then the client calls him up. So right there, speed of lead determines the close rate. So he closed a lot more. The automated helped everything. We had leads come in past like 12 o'clock at night, and the automation handled all that for him. And then entire flow pre-built, and it scaled with the ad spend. So zero manual work for the contractor other than actually just calling him up. Audience strategy, okay? So he was running broad targeting. Everyone in the state could see the ads. He had no filters, no exclusions, which can actually work if you're figuring out what works. But the problem was he never actually niched down and targeted down with what was already working. And so it's just always broad. And he had jobs and estimates to do 2.5 hours away. So we fixed that. We went to a 35-mile radius with a 35 to 65-year-old and then a top 25% income zips. So, and then homeowners, luxury home, renovation, interest. We excluded the renters, contractors, competitors. Basically, we targeted people that could actually afford his service and would want his service, actually close enough to go give in-person estimates, and actually a good audience to target. We also used custom audience from his client's past customer list, and we used 1% lookalike off the customer list. So retargeting last 180 days of your website visitors, and exclusions matter as much as inclusions. So we used the client list that he had and actually used that as a custom audience that's a lookalike. And it helped a lot right there. The audience was not the biggest issue. It was more the offer and the actual ads he was running. It was all kind of just changed for him here. We changed everything about it. Ad creative. So we polished corporate videos, slick drone shots, and brand logos everywhere. So that's what he was running. And that's, in his opinion, in his defense, that should be working, but it wasn't. So we figured out what was working. 30 to 45 second UGC style videos, job site B-roll plus voiceover of like the offer, how long he's been in business, kind of authority right there, and then better hooks. He wasn't running any good hooks. So we were running think about adding a pool, blah, blah, and then just static creatives. So static creatives aren't that good, but recently they have been doing a lot better in the past couple months. I'll be honest there. With all of our clients, we've been implementing a lot more static creatives, and it has actually been doing better than a lot of the videos. And especially with these polished corporate videos, it's just too much, okay? If we run these different like voiceovers, B-roll content, explaining the offer, it looks a lot better and actually added an authority. When you run with all these brand logos and these sick drone shots and all that stuff, it just doesn't really spark interest as much as a hook. You need a good hook. That's basically what we're saying here. So the raw actually outperformed polished every single time. Each month we were testing about 25 ads each, and we found 3 clear winners and then just scaled it up that way. Next was the landing page. I already kind of talked about this. He was just running a main website, 12 pages, 30 links, 3.2 conversion rate. Terrible, okay? Fixed his website, but we actually just took these ads into a landing page for the ads. So headline plus a 30-second video plus form. So right when they log in, there's a video playing, and it was just them working, befores and afters, all this stuff, and it was actually muted, but it was more just an authority of showing their work, okay? And then a countdown of the offer, which this one right here didn't have actually a countdown really, the one I'm explaining. But we ran like some like percentages off, all this stuff, spring specials. And then he had his reviews, 47 5-star reviews, and then before, after gallery, 14.7 conversion rate. So it automatically just went up right here when we took it to a landing page because he was doing straight to his website. Next was the follow-up system. We talked about this. Basically just text in the first 60 seconds. It's actually 30 seconds, but 60 seconds to be safe. Text 2 to 5 over 14 days. Email sequence of 5. So this is what a lot of people don't do is this email sequence. Lead nurturing. Oh, shoot. We've just emailed case studies, questions, reviews, and actually how long they've been in business, all this authority type of stuff to nurture them back. Yep. And then a 20-minute qualification call for him to actually get the estimate, see if they're a qualified fit and everything. But he actually has a sales team, so we don't have to worry about that. But yeah, it actually boosts rate a ton. Close rate went up about 20%, and then the actual close rate was so much higher. Okay, next thing is scaling. One thing he was doing was he was doubling budget overnight. Meta's learning phase resets and then performance tanks. So he was just wasting a ton of budget because he'd take his budget, find a winning ad, and just double it. And he just threw that ad into the trash, caught it on fire, and it was gone. So he waited for CPL under target for 7 straight days. A 10% budget bumps every 3 days. Started ABO to find the winners. So if you don't know what that means, it's ad set budget. We basically test every single ad set or every single creative in a different ad set, figure out what's working the best. So that way every single one's getting the same actual cost. So say we're doing a $100 a day budget. We have 10 ads running at $10 a day. We figure out what's one working in the first week. So that way we know actually what's a good ad instead of running into a CBO straight away, where CBO just chooses for you. You never really know. You have ads that don't even get enough budget to tell. So ABO is how we test, and then we move to the actual winners into a CBO and then duplicate the winning ad set at 3 times the budget. Kill the original if the duplicate wins. There you go. So if you're learning, there you go. Start testing with ABO and then start scaling to CBO. Here's actually the results here. So this right one's not him. This left one is. So 212 leads, 38 cost per lead, and $8,166 spent. Yeah, so very good results here. And then this is one of our other clients just to show you that we have worked with other people. Same results. They had a higher cost per lead, but actually closed more in revenue. This is more just a video about saving him. Yeah, how we saved somebody that wasn't making any money and put all that money into a winning ad stuff. So it's proving that even if you are struggling, but you have good money to actually invest into the ads, you still can make something work. But yeah, so this is just showing consistency with us. We consistently bring in volume. Who this kind of works for, if you're kind of using this video as a educational video, you're a contractor trying to learn. Contractors doing 500K to 5 million annually. Sorry. Average project tickets 10K plus. So if you're not doing 10K plus, that's the minimum. I recommend even 50 plus. We have some pool builder guys that are doing 100K per job. That's way better. And a business 2+ years, answer their phone or has someone who does willing to spend 3K plus a month on ads. If you're not willing to spend a lot on ads, you're not going to get the results, especially for high ticket, because you have to figure out what's working, target the correct way, and actually do it. You have a service that's 50K, $100 is not going to get you that job. With testing a lot of money and figuring out what's working, spending 5K, you're probably going to get a couple jobs out of it. And once you know what's working, you could scale with the ad budget so much more. This just doesn't work for new contractors because you don't have the money to actually scale up with your ads. If you want me to audit actually your business for you, just DM me on Instagram. It's gp.markets. We had to get a new Instagram, so we're trying to gain followers. So feel free to follow. I post educational content all on there, short form. And yeah, I thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, you could Instagram DM me or just leave them in the comments. Thank you.